ask your questions. If you have any questions, if anybody has any questions about the universe, post them down below. I'm a couple minutes late. I ran into somebody and I had to eat food. How am I, MK? I'm pretty good. Just hungry, more hungry. I I was a little bit tired. But what kind of YouTube channel were you talking about? If you don't mind talking about that. If anyone has any questions, I'm going to be on here for at least an hour. We just started this. We just started this live. We're about 3 minutes in. Any questions about diet, about health, spirituality? My favorite rap song? I don't know. Probably a J. Cole song. Probably a J. Cole song. And probably something off that warm up album. What's he has one called Balance. Yeah. J. Cole has a lot of a lot of good songs. So probably a J. Cole song, Balance. He has one called Balance. And it has a in between feel. If we're talking strictly rap. And a lot of songs off of that warm up album, which I think he just actually dropped on his YouTube page. Yeah, you just want to share. Yeah, that's a good quality to have. You gotta find something to share. What is enlightenment? When you have no thoughts on your head. Enlightenment's just when you stop thinking and you become aware. Because everybody stops thinking at points of their day and night, but they're not conscious, they're not paying attention to when it happens. Have I seen the movie Turbo? It's about a snail that goes fast. No, but it sounds like that. A snail that goes fast. And no, I haven't seen any movies at all. Probably like a whole movie I haven't watched in like 9 years. If anything, I watch like stuff on YouTube, more so like a Netflix. Well, more so like a documentary is what I meant. Yeah, YouTube is what I watch. And mainly I listen. I don't even watch. Yeah. It sounds like a kid's movie too. What is worth sharing? Whatever your heart feels called to do. Whatever that you like to do. Whatever that you think has value, because that's going to bring other value. Maybe you'll work on a channel for like 6 months on YouTube, but then you find, oh, now it will bring you to somewhere else. That's the thing, like when we do stuff, as long as we get started, we'll run into other things. God bless everybody. I'm going to be in here for at least an hour. We're about 9 minutes in. I hope many fortunes come to everybody. If you have any questions, post them down below. What is truth? Truth is something that works every time. And it's also something that you feel. So truth is enlightenment at the same time. But truth is also something, so if you are in like a cemetery or a haunted place and you get this gut-wrenching feeling that you should get out of there or you need to move, that is symbolic to the truth. So when you're around certain people and you feel love, that can't be not true, because it is. God is also truth, which is the same as your intuition. Your intuition is never wrong. comes from like the pit of your stomach. Hey Lindsay, nice to see your bright smiling face in here. The truth is I. Yeah, that's the main truth. Truth is like, if I say like eating this food makes you feel good and you eat the food and you feel good, well then that's true of what I said, and now that side that you've seen. The people that are evil or the devil, all these symbols that they use, they take it from God or the truth because that's all there is, and they just turn it and manipulate the truth. That's why the devil, they always have to tell you foreshadowing. They have to come out and say it. There are other reasons, but they take that from the truth because all there is the truth. Everything that's not the truth is, a subordinate lie. And a lot of people lie. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, I just got done eating. I'm still hungry. I came on here a couple minutes late. Yeah. And I took a nap too. The truth is knowing who you are. That's the biggest or the real truth. Is truth a feeling? Yeah, it's always a feeling. It can be a sense too. Yeah, it can be a sense too. It's pretty much sense and feeling are the same thing. Yeah. Because there's a feeling that keeps you alive, and it's not to be thought about. You can't think about it you can't think to know to feel. You can think about sex all you want, but until you feel sex, there would you rather think about sex or feel it? Life, all life is the same life. It's literally invades every space, every human being, and it's life. We can't see it, but it's something that you feel. So your fundamental nature is what keeps you alive. It's not what you think. It's not your heart beating. It's not even your breath. It, it's a it, it it's overwhelming feeling, as in it's always there. But when you can't feel and think at the same time, it's impossible. So to feel anything, even if it's this microphone, to feel it, I have to stop my thinking. And if you really stop your thinking, it's gonna feel like so incredible. But underlying, there's a feeling inside of you that emanates. We're in a huge solar storm. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I had to take a nap because my body's messed up. We'll ring a bell. This is why when we look for the truth, ultimately, we are coming back, looking inside of ourselves. Because what can be realer than the truth of what we are? The fundamental basis. We just can't see the energy. So, have you been napping, Lindsay? Is there a duality in truth? I don't know what you mean by that, but the truth always stays the same. You'd have to kind of describe that a little more. Never doubt your mad skills. I thank you, Lindsay. And thanks for stopping in here. If anyone has any questions, post them down below. During deep sleep, all feelings cease. Where does that experiencer the feelings disappear? Well, you're just not aware, and it's very hard to be aware when you're in deep sleep. You're always there, but you can be aware in deep sleep, and you'll know because you'll be experiencing it. You just you get knocked out basically. You could call it amnesia. Yeah, you just disappear. You're still there, but you're unconscious. You're literally like the definition of unconscious. Like, so it is happening. Let's just say like you didn't have any dreams, because having dreams is not the truth. If you're in the astral world, that's different. But having dreams is not the same as being in the astral world. And dreams are just something that just happens in your head. They're not really any relevance or importance. For example, science says science will say, "Oh, you dream every night." That's a lie. You don't dream every night. But the true deep sleep, that we do experience, if we had the energy and enough alertness like an animal, then we could experience what that is like when we're in that deep sleep. But being in a dream, uh, it's it's not always, yeah. Did you find the big fish at the market? No, because I didn't have the money that I thought I had, and just the way the circumstances of things played out and kind of been playing out in a way. But yeah, I just didn't have money, and there was also like traffic like piled up all like, I'm not sure how far it went on, but there was like so much traffic, like so much. And I didn't even want to, I don't like traffic, so I didn't want to get involved with that. But the deep sleep, you could talk about that for a long time. For most people, they're just under amnesia, you could say, and they they're just completely unconscious of what's going on, because you also do have a physical body, and if it's knocked out, you may be knocked out in a sense too. The feeling that stays in your deep sleep is the feeling of existing. That's what it would feel like, but you can feel that now while you're awake. That's a very high level thing to do, though. It's not that simple. And going to the astral world is probably easier than than being awake in deep sleep. It won't be a dream. It's not going to be a dream, that's for sure. Do you find a big fish at the market? But yeah, like I said, no, unfortunately not, MK. I wish I did. Do you have a choice to wake up? If anyone has any questions about spirituality, about economics, diet, health, post them down below. We're going to be here for an hour, and I appreciate everyone coming through. Do you have a choice to wake up, or does your body wake up by itself? Your body wakes up by itself. Your body usually wakes up by itself. Sometimes if you're in that deep sleep, which is in India they call it samadhi, and if you're in a deep trance, a deep trance, that's a whole different technique though. For the most part, sometimes you'll need someone to wake you up, but that's a very special case. That's an actual technique, and they know they're gonna need woken up. Most of the time, your body wakes up by itself. Yeah, I've never really heard anybody, nor have I woke up myself. That's a great question, but I've never heard of anybody doing that either. The feeling that stays in your deep sleep is the feeling of existing. Yeah, you pretty much become the feeling, so to speak. The whole point of the Bible is just that. You know, they describe it as love, the feeling of being alive, the feeling of heaven, and if we had to describe the feeling of God, God is the feeling of love, but you have to actually feel it. That's the thing. I appreciate everyone coming through. God bless everybody. Hey, Crypto Shark, how are you? We're about 29 minutes in. We'll be going for another 30, at least. You are. You can control your thought process. Yeah. The, your thought, your thoughts mainly go around of, and they stimulate from your environment. But, you know, civilization in society, thoughts, they're not yours, and they go around. So if someone in California, they're thinking about like, you know, legalizing marijuana. Let's just say there's a couple people over there. Well, it's gonna come around to the East Coast, and some people over there might have the similar thoughts. Thoughts are go on for infinity. It's not like they just stay in your head. So when you think something, it goes in every direction in infinity. This is why when someone's angry, you feel it when you're around that person. Even if someone was angry in a room, a fight just broke out, maybe at a club. You'll go there and the fight's over, but the energy's still gonna be there's still gonna be energy there of that fight that just happened. It could linger around for eternity. Probably not going to, but your thoughts go in every direction nonstop. It's not we're and this is like, science says we're all connected. We are literally like simultaneously all connected. it's it's like we're each wired into to each other. It's so crazy that you don't even believe it. But once you master your body and also more so your mind, when you master your mind, then you can just stop the thinking process. So that's that. But if you think about, let's just say, like, you watch sex all the time, and you focus on sex. So you look at, you know, women's titties, you look at their asses, you have desires, you look at girls and online, your thoughts are going to be about sex. Your majority of your thoughts are going to be just about that. So to change that, to change the majority of what you're thinking, because you have to focus on different things. If you focus on God or trying to get enlightenment, you read the Bible, ancient scriptures, and you listen to sages, that your thinking is gonna change. You're not gonna be thinking about sex. So you can manipulate and change your cycle of thoughts. You resubscribe to my channel. I didn't know you were unsubscribed. Did I bring anything home from the market? No, not the fish market. No. I did just go to the store though, a different store, and I got some ground beef, some Amish chicken, because it was on sale. I got maple syrup, one avocado, and apple cider vinegar. I didn't have like any money. No one's been making any donations. Now I did get like when I first went live, I did get some donations. God bless you too, Rain. I'm doing okay, just trying to escape the matrix. And you quit corn completely. Yeah, once you like stop like just watching it, then you don't think about it at all. And if you watch like corn, then you have like disgusting thoughts about it. Just just weird. Just have weird thoughts about it. Yeah, just from watching one video, you could have thoughts weeks later about it, corrupting your mind. Yeah, I don't think about it. I don't really think about that at all. That's why you can focus away from sex. You can just the power of your will and concentration. You can just stop thinking about sex. Therefore, it won't bother you and it's not eroding your mind all the time. The people that think about sex all the time and that are always looking at like guys or women, it's because that's what they're investing their life, their time. So if whatever you invest your time, you're going to think about that stuff. You're going to be pulled toward that stuff. The algorithm of life is going to show you that. And so, like somebody that masturbates or watches porn, you just get in that cycle, and then you're more eligible to do it again. Hey, Matt the Visionary's here. Two Matts are here. Out of two Matts out of four. I did say Amish chicken. It sometimes goes on sale when it's about to expire, and it's yeah, it went to basically like dirt cheap. Could also like freeze it. I guess I didn't think about that. I usually don't like free any freezer food. No, no, you don't necessarily, but at some you do. It's it all depends on like how strong how strong your will is. It more depends on you. It more depends on you. So don't get caught up in other people's thoughts coming through and stuff like that. That is why the global awakening that's happening again. It's because like people are like waking up. They're getting sick of how society is run. So this is why these thoughts are spreading like wildfire. So it's not like other people's thoughts are always invading you. It's more so like just like a brisk wind that a thought of something may come. Yeah. It's not like somebody's thinking about like very evil stuff all the time and it's entering your mind. So to add on to that, when you die, what you are seeing in your mind right now, you take this to heaven. Heaven is literally a mental state. You you'll be just like this when you go to heaven, but you're going to be more aware. You get enlightened when you get to heaven, basically. But so, so like, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say about that. But that's why you're supposed to. That's why we're supposed to break free now. Because whatever thoughts we have now, that and desires, we're going to the exact same, you could say, body to heaven. We're connected right now. So this is why you'll get reincarnated. Because if all you do is think about sex, in heaven you can get anything you want. Literally. Heaven is everything. You can make worlds. Like literally make worlds in heaven. This world is a dumbed down, disoriented of a world that was made up. We're not going to get into all how it was made and all that and the importance of it. But the importance is to know that whatever you think now, your main thoughts, which you long for and are addicted to, they go straight to heaven with you. So, since we're talking about sex, do you see how it's going? It's your thoughts are not going anywhere when you die. You think, oh, you die and you wake up, and no, you wake up and it's the same thing. Literally. But people aren't aware, but before they exit to heaven, which is, you can call that the trap. That's the real matrix. Anyways, if you're thinking about sex all the time, you go to heaven, you're desiring sex still, same thing, because it's still there. You haven't defeated it or overcame that addiction. And so you're gonna reincarnate the trap. You're gonna reincarnate into another body so you can live out these sexual thoughts or desires. That's the truth about reincarnation. Hello, Iana. God bless you. You have a very interesting name. Your name says everything about you. Even though someone may have gave you that name, even though you may switch your name, it 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 literally defies you. Defines, sorry. Defies. Yeah, defies you. But your name holds so much essence. And so does the way you do anything. So is the one that is experiencing the thoughts the real you? Yes, it is. That's the first step to enlightenment or awakening, is observing. Realize everything in your life is an observant. It, the only difference between observing something, so if someone just goes and punches you in the face. People who are animals living on we can say the lowest chakra, which would, our thoughts would come from that chakra. These, if someone comes and punches you, someone that's not awakened, unconscious, they're gonna they're gonna react. So they're gonna get super furious and want to beat up the person. An enlightened person, or someone who's waking up, let's just say someone hits them, gets punched, they're not gonna have this immediate animalistic aggressive reaction. They're gonna be like neutral. They're gonna laugh about it, as crazy as it seems. Enlightenment is almost, to the normal layman person, is crazy. That's why the stories of Jesus, they seem crazy to people. It could be anybody, any enlightened person. I've been told our thoughts are evil. Yeah, exactly. To cease all thoughts. To cease all thoughts is, you're exactly right. I agree. Yeah, I 110% agree with you, Rain. And I've always thought that was a beautiful name. I've not heard that name like too much. Yes, evil comes from overthinking and being caught in the ego. That's where, because ego is self-centered. It's all about me. This is why these movie stars, they may look like they're doing charity work and nice stuff, but a lot of them are very ego, which is self, uh, you know, self perseverance, and it's all about me, 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 me. When we drop our thoughts, we feel connection. This is why people that can't stop thinking, and we can just say evil people, the mind very can get very cynical in itself. Yeah, it's kind of funny and weird at the same time. But evil people, they still have the essence of God inside all of them. Evil people aren't even bad necessarily. We just call them evil. But realistically, if they would stop thinking, it's not going to be that easy for them, for sure. It's not. Their 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 thoughts are so crazy, they can't help it. Yeah, the ego is basically an infestation. Your thoughts become an infestation. thoughts aren't evil. Fear is evil. It just depends on the quality of your thoughts. And more so your intention. No, you don't want to fear your thoughts. The You just want to watch them and just know the thought's going to change. Your thoughts change all the time, but they eventually just go in a cycle. The way to break the cycle is, to stop thinking. How do we cease them? Live in the present, I guess. Well, we talked about this earlier. I think it was earlier because I did go live earlier. It it's the possibilities are unlimited. Rain. And see, the thing about the Bible is they they and there's a couple examples of this. The a technique, the only technique that I know you can get there by any way, but there's no technique. One technique that for sure works, it's the only thing that works from actually working. And this is why they've taken it, because I believe this was once in the Bible and they condemned them, is it's the Koreas. There's a reason why India has this yoga, because what it's meant to do is still the body and also still the mind. It has many other benefits, but they've twisted the truth of this evil because they can't get rid of it. They've already tried many of times because it's true, but they condemn it. They say it's, super bad, don't do it, it goes against Jesus' teachings. They'll say something like that. It's not true. They're lying. It's the only thing that you can practice over time. Because of how it is. Now, again, just another example. I know somebody that's a shaman. They're a Native American, and they're not doing voodoo. They're not doing anything evil. But the people around her, or around the shaman, it can be any shaman, they tell me that, I'm not saying all the Christians, but some of the Christians and Christianity, those people, they say that they don't even know her. They don't know the practices, or whatever they're doing. But they say it's demonic. But they have no proof. They're just jumping the gun. So again, they're calling these shamanic people Native Americans. They're saying that these people are demonic. But they're just saying that. Yes, living in the present, when you stop thinking, yes. And not focusing on the past, and just being aware of your thoughts. Most people just aren't aware when they stop thinking. So when you ride your bike, you could ride your bike today, and you could get in a trance to where you're not thinking, but you're not aware. It just feels really good. And then when it's over, you go back and now you're thinking again. You're playing a video game now, or you're talking to a friend. But you were like, wow, that bike ride felt so good. That's because you were not thinking. And we're just saying that's what happened. And you weren't thinking, but you weren't aware. You this is what they call unconscious. Did you ever see Jesus smile? I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Like, like did I see him come to me like in a vision? I'm sure Jesus was a super happy person, calm. To be in the moment, we have to be completely relaxed. We can't have no stress. Having attaining an enlightenment means this is a trauma-free, no stress state. You can't have trauma and be enlightened or while it's happening, because the trauma's only there when you think about it. And you know this because you do other stuff all throughout the day, throughout your life, and you think about other stuff. But when you think about the trauma, that's when it ignites you. Wow, okay, we said a lot in the last like 30 minutes. We're at 59 minutes. God bless everybody. I appreciate everybody coming through. Many blessings to everybody. You're going to have some big ones. And just know God is always with us. If there's any last questions, I will answer them. Thoughts are made out of language, which is sound and vibration. So thought is a memory capsule in a neuron. Yeah, I would say, yeah, we can control the firing of neurons in our brain. This is when we have master over the body. Thoughts. Not to confuse you, but sound and vibration, matter into some way it doesn't exist. It comes from, it's hard to understand this logically, and it doesn't matter if you do, because it's not going to really, sound and vibration is just, it just is. So God in itself, some people like the Buddhists, they describe it as nothing. At the same time though, it's everything. So it's two sides of the same coin, and it's just there. God is just there. We can't that's why we can't logically really feel God. Like we have to actually feel it. We can talk about it all we want. And it's still good to talk about it for sure. It's but it's an experience. He himself, it's just it's again, it's everywhere. So it's matters what comes from sound, from vibration is what I'm getting at. So yes, it sounds like there is no answer, as you want to say, but we can say God comes from ultimately nothing. And it makes everything. It's just one of those things. You're not going to get to the bottom of it. But if I had to explain it, that would be what you were saying. Yeah. But it's not the matter and the vibration and sound. It's all the same thing again. But I don't get too caught up on that, because it just messes with your mind more so. But it is, yes, the vibration in the sound. That's why the energy condenses and it manifests. So that's why they say in the Bible specifically, it started with the word. And this is why it's confusing. It didn't. It started with a vibration. It started with a sound, if that makes sense, because these are the vibrations that coincide or reality. There's a reason that they say But uh, the sound, when we go back on that, so if we have a vibration in our brain, let's just say we think about inventing a piece of paper. and then eventually we make a piece of paper in this reality that came from a vibration, and it got manifested to harder, dense reality. Matter matters and it doesn't. Yeah. Science can confuse. It's confusing, but that's because they did that on purpose. A lot of science is just, again, it's been manipulated by the devil. So they're twisting things and all that good stuff they're always doing. All our experiences are within the five sense organs. It's beyond. Our soul is beyond the five sense organs. Those just connect us, the five senses. They connect us to reality, or or experiencing this. That's what makes us here. God is already experiencing everything without sensory perception, because it is the experience in itself. And but the one of the things they say about creation is God can't experience himself. So we separated, we get the veil, we have thoughts, and then we go through this whole puzzle so we can go back and experience what we were once part of. But the only barricade and the biggest thing is, again, our thoughts. Literally, that is like the end all do all. God experiencing it is without sensory perception. So even if I follow my breath, which is a lot of what the yoga try to do and a lot of people talk about, you get lost if I go into a non-thought state. Yeah, I feel my breath, but I'm just there. I'm just experiencing it, and I'm not thinking. So it's not like, oh, I'm examining my breath. It feels like I don't know. I'm not. I don't know how I would describe that. With the breath, the breath is very unique. But God is without sensory perception. Those are built for our survival. But you can utilize them to throw you into the moment. And then your connection with God. So if I have this glass jar here, and this is something we all can examine, if we go feel something, when we're in science class, They tell us, oh, describe how it feels. What's it smell like? That's taking, that's just relating and relaying information to someone. But in true reality, if we can just feel it, we will literally just feel it. And what it feels like, there's no word, technically. So, when we see things, another sense, and to bring us into the present moment, when people see something that shocks them, a new animal, a vacation, they're just not aware, especially because the shock happens so fast initially. When someone gets shocked, they go like this. They're not thinking. But then they're trying to grip it. They want to use their mind. You can't grip it. The mind always goes on past data that you've learned. You want to describe it because it's something that you've been with before. But when you see something new, it brings a shock to the system. Uh, 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 Most people immediately try to describe it, but there's a split second where you just are not thinking. Hello? Is someone down there? Hold on 1 second. Okay. And the final thing is, when the truth of reality is when you're just seeing it. That is the truth. And if you want an example of that, which is like a video game. Let's just say if you ever play like a video game where you go like a sim character, or a role playing game, you control the person. And in the game you're looking at stuff. That's exactly how our life is. Thank you, Sir Mikey. Greetings from Pennsylvania. Nice to see you. I feel that I've found something that is worth sharing, but talking about it seems counterproductive. It depends what it is, MK. I don't. I get what you're saying, but it all depends like what it is. But we've been in here for an hour and 16 minutes. And we're probably going to go. I was live earlier today. It was a late start. But tomorrow, we're going to talk about, or we may talk about the census because that's actually really interesting. But tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern time, we will be live again for about an hour, probably. Blessings to everybody. God is always with us. He's always listening. But to truly find him and for him to hear us, he doesn't want us to half-ass it. Nothing lukewarm. He wants you to give your full attention. All your will. To find him. If you give 25%, you kinda don't care. He might not accept. He might not show his face. I appreciate everyone coming in here. All you beautiful people. I hope everybody finds God. And I wish everybody many blessings. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, I'll be going live again. Out of my love for God, actually, too. We'll do one more bell. Congratulations on making it through the night, through the day. I appreciate everyone.